Hello, hello. Welcome back to Math Made Possible. I believe I can. I'm your current teacher, Miss Howard, and today we're going to be using the Illustrative Math curriculum to do a summary for Unit 1, Lesson 8. We're going to be using units to find volume. All right, so we have 4 different images here. So we're going to start with talking about the volume. There's 2 ways that we could find the volume. We can either find the area of the base times the height, or we can do our formula, which is length times width times height. And I'm going to show you both ways to look at this. All right, so let's take a look at our image right here. Now, first of all, let me preface this with saying, parents and children, remember in class, what we did was we had a partner A and a partner B, and we each built a figure, and we combined that figure and then determined the volume for that figure. So that will give you some preface for what they did in the classroom. Right now, we're just going to take the image and we're basically going to pretend that there's 2 students here and they combine their image, and this is what the image would be. So our first image here, we're going to use the area equals base times height formula. And so I see the top very clear. So I have 3 right here. I'm just going to label my parts. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The one of the main mistakes that I see students making is not double checking and counting properly. Let me go ahead and also change the colors so that you can see it. All right. So our area of this base would be like this side right here, and then we would have this side right here. And we're basically saying 5 times 3. And we know that 5 times 3, well, that equals 15. And then what we would do is we would look at our height. And our height would be going up and down. So let me change my color again. And if we want to connect it back to what we did in the beginning, guys, remember we said if we're looking at the top layer, we know that if we're at the top floor of an elevator, we have to go down. So this is how we identify our layers. So we could see here that there's 1, 2, 3 layers. So we're going to label this side as 3. And so now we do 15 times 3. 5 times 3, of course, equals 15. 3 times 1 equals 3 plus 1, that equals 4. But please keep in mind that is not the only amount, because remember, we are 2 friends, and one friend just contributed 1 box. Let me go ahead and just highlight that. I'm going to put this little mark right here so that everybody can see. This is the volume basically that the friend contributed. So we are asking ourselves, what is 45 plus 1? And that would give us a volume of 46. Now we're going to do the same process over here, and this time we're going to use our formula for length times width times height. So let's process that. But let's begin with talking about what we did in class, which is the 2 students building their particular figure. So let's say one student contributes this area right here, and I'm going to highlight it with my little marks here to show you that the student contributed this figure right here. Okay, you can also cut it off like this. Okay, so student 1 produced an image that had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cubes. So A had 5 cubes. Now let's determine what B would be. And we said that B is going to have our length, width, and height. So let's go ahead and identify those. So it all depends on how you're looking at it. Again, the numbers do not matter, but what does matter is that you're double checking your amount that you're counting for that particular side. So I see 1, 2, 3 on this side. So I'm going to label my length will be 3 times, let's go to my width, and that would be, let's change that to pink. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our width times 5. And then we have our height. We said that was 3. Let's go ahead and label that, by the way. I didn't label the 5 right at the side. And also let me put a 15 up here, so that everybody knows that amount for that top piece is 15 cubes. All right, now let's go back over here. Sorry about that. All right, so we have 3 times 5 times 3. All right, and we already know from our previous problem that 5 times 3, that equals 15. And then 15 times 3, that equals 45. But guess what? That is not the only amount. So let me go ahead and label some stuff for you. So we said this area right here is 5. Wait, let me erase that and put it right on the cube so you guys could see that. So we said this area right here was 5. Let's not forget that. And then we said, now we're saying that this whole cube, this whole prism is going to be 45. So we can't leave off the 5 because that's what friend 1 contributed. So we have to write 45 plus 5, and that equals 50. That is the second mistake that I see students making, is they forget to add the other prism. This is basically called a composite prism. You're taking 2 different pieces of a prism and putting them together to make one composite, one full unique image. All right, think about it as building a building. You know, you take those one section over there combined with another section, put that together, and you make a full building. All right, so we have uh, 46 right here for the volume. We have 50 right here for this volume. Now, what I want you to do is take a moment to find the volume for this one and for this one. And then I want you to pause the video and I want you to see if you got the right answer. All right, go ahead, pause it now. All right, now here, let's go back and take a look at our work. Let's go ahead and do base times height for this one. And we are going to identify the part that our friend did first. So our friend basically builds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our friend's portion was 6. And we're going to go to the top again. Let me go ahead and put 6 as 8 equals 6. B is going to be, let me choose the same color so you guys can see it. Again, I'm going to look at this side, which I counted that up, and that is 3. And then our width is going to be this side right here. Let's double check our count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, that's a little bit different from the last time. So last time up here we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this one again is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 right here. So we're basically saying, what is 6 times 3? And we know that 6 times 3 equals 18. So if I were to just look at this top portion of the prism, that equals 18. Okay. And so I'm going to write 18. And I'm going to write this vertically because I could see already. We're going to have to work this out with standard algorithm. We have 3 on the outside. 1, 2, 3. That would be our height. So it would be 18 times 3. And we know that 8 times 3 equals 24. And 3 times 1 equals 3 plus 2, that equals 5. But again, that is not our final answer. So even though A's volume is 6 and B's volume is 54, we have to go ahead and combine both of those numbers by adding them. So I'm going to line it up right here, and we're going to go 54. I wonder if that looks like a 4 too. Let's make that look a little bit better. And I accidentally let's put it in this box. All right, so let's type it. Yep, that would be better. 54 plus sign plus 6. And we know 4 plus 6 equals 10. And we bring our 1 up. And 1 plus 5 equals 6. So the volume of this prism equals 60. So C equals 60. We don't have units here. You could just say units cubed. A equals 46. Units cubed. And B equals 50. And students, if you're not doing this already, always, even though you're showing all of your work, I love it when my students circle their answer, because after I see all of the work, I'm actually looking for your answer, right? I want to see that first. And if your answer is incorrect, then I want to go back and look at your work and see, where did you make your mistake? All right, now let's go ahead and take this off. I'm going to cut it off for you. I'm going to say this is the part that our friend contributed. Okay. And let's use length times width times height here. If this is 2, this part right here is 2, and then we have a height of 3. So we know that 2 times 2, well, we know that's 4. 4 times 3, that equals 12. So let me write that down for you. For A, we said 2 times 2 times 3, that equals 12. That's the portion that our friend contributed. And I'll go ahead and write that on that prism. So this whole prism equals 12. And we can do length times width times height for this one as well. We have 3 over here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. And we have 3 as our height. So again, our length is 3, our width is 5, and our height is 3. Length times width times height. And again, I'm just looking at this prism right here. So we know that I could just combine my doubles. My 3 times 3, we know that is 9. And we know that 9 times 5, that equals 45. So this whole prism right here has a volume of 45. But again, that is not the final answer because we still have to add them up. And we'll say 12 plus, let me see if I can write in this section right here. 12 plus 45. Can I do it? I can. All right, we know that 2 plus 5, that equals 7. And we know that 1 plus 4, that equals 5. So our final answer for this prism or prism D is going to be 57. All right, hopefully you guys were able to understand it a little bit better, or at least hear it in a different way and understand it. If you have any questions, please, please, please do not just go and sit and just say you get it, or well, do me a favor and look at how we solve for volume using this free strategy sheet that I have posted. The link will be in the description. It'll show you the different ways. And I've also updated it to included composite prisms, so you'll be able to see that. And then I also made a volume word problem sheet with real world problems. If you guys are interested in continuing to practice and just being able to apply how you see volume in the real world. We also have a 4-week of real world math problems for 5th grade that can also be found on my teacher page. The link will be in the description. So I do thank you all so much for watching. Again, if you have any questions, please go ahead and watch the Illustrative Math Grade 5 Unit 1 Lesson 8 videos, or you could search up how to find volume with composite prisms. I do appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you have not done so already. All right, take care, and I'll see you in our next video.